Alright, we're going to do a mod look today. We're looking at Singe's skills. This time it's for the Empire. We've got 5 Empire Lords we're going to use. We're going to look at Karl, Franz, and then Gelt and Elspeth. And then we'll look at Volkmar, and we'll save our boy Markus to the end, because we know nobody really cares for Markus.
Summon the
So what are we talking about here? We're talking about a set of skills that is added onto the personal skill line. This is the personal skill line for our boy Karl. And Singe's mod adds a set of skills down here, usually 4, sometimes 5. And they often accentuate the strengths of that character in the first place. So Karl's normally got improvements to his Reiksguard and his great swords. So this is not something that I'm particularly a fan of, because I don't really do Reiksguard and I don't really do great swords. You can see he's got some other good skills in there. So what does he got? Right here, at level 4, state troops, melee attack and leadership. So that's fantastic. The issue with most of the infantry for the Empire is that they are terrible. Only Bretonnia has worse base infantry. Maybe the Skaven. So level 4, you've got melee attack, so they can dish out some damage. Leadership, so they can stay in the fight. Here you've got armor piercing, weapon strength, and physical resistance for greatswords. So again, leaning into that Reiksguard and greatswords concept. Not something I'm likely ever to get there. Bloodlines of Bretonnia, there's the Reiksguard boost. So you've got a greatswords and you've got a Reiksguard. And then finally, his last one, he's got fear and immune to psychology. So more greatswords and Reiksguard. So if you're playing Karl traditionally, using the great swords and the Reiksguard, maybe your hammer on your anvil, then you've got 3 skill sets specifically designed to help them. So let's go take a look at one of the others. We'll take a look at Gelt. So Gelt recently got his buff to make him this absolute beast of magic.
Empire, bring me to the nation.
I'm not sure what his skill set is. It's been a while since I played them. But he's going to be buffing all of his mages and his metal magic on his personal skill line. So we'll take a look and see how much this skill set plays into that. I'm not sure if it's been modified since the update that made him the way he is currently. But I would be pretty sure that it's likely to buff those same sorts of things. So let's go take a peek.
You summon me.
So here you've got the ones he normally has, right? They're all healing and missile damage for his artillery, armor for himself, hero action bonuses, and then this one here, -2 for lore of metal spells, which makes him just devastatingly powerful. So he's got 5 skill here. This one here is going to be Pistoliers and Outriders buff, so armor and speed. That's a cavalry, but remember that's ranged cavalry. He's got the silencing shot, so disrupted for his handgunners and outriders. So they're not really a magic based set here. So what does this do? Disrupted, probably, I don't know how much it said. Range for artillery, so that's outstanding. He already gets this skill here. No, that's not the one. Is it in here? In one of his skill sets, he's got that artillery buff. I wonder if it's in the artillery themselves. No? So there's a skill, maybe it's something you have to earn. It allows him to buff his artillery. Yeah, it's on the skill set in the load screen. It gives 20% extra range to artillery and improved accuracy. So now with this skill here,
Are you?
okay, he's going to get another 15% range. And then this one here, ward save for his Eldred's Guard. That's the one that he can get from the Electrocount troops. Not something he's likely to get if he stays in Cathay. And then this one here, he gets a banishment spell for Luminarchs. I would say this is probably a pretty poor, weak set, except for this one here. It's definitely tailored to what he was like when he remained behind in the Empire rather than coming out to Cathay. Alright, so now we'll go take a look at Elspeth. I'm assuming she's got a skill set. It's been a while since I used this. This used to be a standard mod that I had running all the time.
Death would be...
In fact, some of my old games I went back to take a look at to do tutorials and comparisons from. I couldn't load until I'd put Singe's skills back in. I wish there was something that allowed you to do that and it would just simply blank you on those skills, but I understand the incompatibility issue, but you're not even allowed to load those. So remember, Elspeth gets her amethysts, her artillery, and her infantry. Yeah, let's skip that.
Elspeth.
Alright, and she doesn't have a... Oh no, does she? Yeah, she's got this. There's the set here. So she had a magic line and not a personal line. Are these? I think this is the added stuff. So melee attack for artillery and gun units. This is just something to help them stay alive if they're hit. You really don't want that one. But the melee defense and charge defense, that's a big deal. The charge defense is going to make it so that they have better defense if cavalry comes around and flanks them. So that's really a nice buff for them there. Available at level 4. So the refined rifling, range and armor piercing missile damage, that's going to be fantastic. That's going to be all the Empire rifles, as well as her own amethyst troops. Tenders of the Guard and magical attacks for Knights of War. Not a cavalry guy, but if you are, there you go, magical attacks. So that'll bypass issues with resistance, physical resistance. And then Shaiish Forged, missile damage for artillery, and then look, Fear and Terror for artillery units. So again, that'll help them defend against low morale cavalry that charges them. And finally here you've got Glorious Charge for steam tanks and Marienburg land ships. Again, that's something that's super upper tier if you're finally getting to those guys. It's only available at level 12. You'll be way past level 12 by the time you get those. So I think this set... being made for a newer character under the recent updates, far more beneficial to the newer updates of the game than, say, Karl, Franz, and Gelt are. So we'll go take a look at Volkmar now. We would expect Volkmar to have a lot of buffs for... Let's just do this.
I command Empire by the
for his flagellant units. He's got a lot of buffs for flagellants and Free Company Militia in his own skill tree. So we would expect that to show up again here. There have not been... The changes that were made to the Empire really didn't affect Volkmar, and they certainly did not affect Markus. God, Markus being the red-headed stepchild of the Empire. So if we come into Volkmar, he gets... these skills here, and then up this end he gets, there we go, Free Company Militia. Okay, Free Company Militia and Flagellants in that one, Warrior Priest, Witch Hunters, and then here Strength of the Penitent, which is a buff for himself, and then here's his extra skills. So this one here, bonus versus infantry and AP damage for Flagellants, just like you would expect. This one here, Unbreakable for Free Company Militia. I don't know that you necessarily want that. You want them to, they're not really supposed to be in melee. It says that they're a good, decent melee combatant, but really. This one here, we've got Empire Knight units. I think that should say Empire Knight, not Empire Knightly, but okay. And then finally here we have the passive ability, Faith Beyond Death, which is that the units cannot die with hit points greater than 50%. So that puts them like the Slayers for the Dwarves. So definitely these 3 skills here play right into the meat and potatoes of the Volkmar army. Alright, so let's go take a look at Markus. One of the reasons I wanted to showcase this mod set is to get people to perhaps play people that they wouldn't normally play or go back and revisit. I think Markus is a particularly hard set to sell. He doesn't involve himself in the Empire mechanics. You have to play in Lustria, which is an absolute nightmare. You have to play mostly against Skaven and lizards. Again, very difficult for the Empire, whose infantry is just terrible. But you do get a lot of free artillery as Markus, so it's something I would like to emphasize. So he's good with ranged, and he gets a lot of free artillery units, and he gets his special heroes. So if we take a look at Markus traditionally, he gets to increase his rank of his units, that's fine. Melee defense and missile resistance for him. We've got line of sight, movement range, and replenishment rate. That's all very, very good stuff for him in this campaign. We can see here upkeep for huntsmen and archers, that's fine. Archers really aren't worth that much in Lustria because of their inability to do armor-piercing damage. But you can see that this is bonus versus large, right, for these fellas. So that's not too bad for the huntsman, but they're kind of expensive. This one here, double shot for huntsman and his army, so they do twice as much damage. So that's really good. And then this one here, this is for him. And this one here is for him, for his lord's army. That's really pretty good. But these are the ones we're looking at from Singe's set. These are the 5 he gets. Vanguard deployment. Oh, sorry, this is that? Okay, that's his own. This one. Strider. So that's the one that allows you to move freely through any terrain, which you would expect for a huntsman's army. And look, that's for all infantry units. Then he's got the circle of protection, so that another 10% increase to his replenishment. And then bonus versus infantry and large for these 2 sets of units. That allows him to fend off the lizard armies that he's going to face, and those hordes of orcs and Skaven that he might meet. This one here, armor piercing for war wagons, campaign movement range again, and range for huntsmen and archers. That's outstanding because his huntsman generals can also increase range. And then finally here we can see ammo for the war wagons. I think this one here particularly, this one here in particular, and then this one very good. This one here very good for his army because it buffs those units he's going to rely on most, which is going to be the archery units. So these will make Markus's life in Lustria a little more palatable. So if you weren't thinking of playing Markus ever, please give him a try. Use this mod. It'll improve these guys here. It'll improve these guys here while you're waiting to get the artillery units that this is going to bring you. Thank you for watching.